Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. My name is Marae. You know me as the Greatness Engineer, and I make sure I bring you fantastic champion and greatness engineer, like I call you every single week, so that you can learn from them, so that you can be inspired by them, so that you can, have something to start with or to, something that you can rely on to go to the next level of your greatness. And today we're having a champion. We're going to the US, and she is an amazing woman. She's doing so much around the world. You'll get to discover her. You'll get to discover a little bit, you have an idea of the impact that she's creating, not only in the US, but also around the world. So who is this person? I'm just going to give you a snip of, introduction about her. Today, my guest is Betty Speaks, and she wears a lot of hats. She's the CEO of a Life Change Now, which is a consulting, and coaching company. And she's also a global speaker. She's an author. She's a civility leader. She's a retired Army veteran and a peace ambassador. So we'll know all of this, today. And I hope that you're going to have, an hour of greatness with Betty and myself. I know that, she will not disappoint. So sit tight, have your pen and paper, because we're gonna talk about a very, insightful subject. And I think this is a topic of, that is going to help us go forward. And just to give you an idea of the topic, the 4 components of life and how they impact our life journey. So very, very, powerful topic. So I urge you, like I said, to have your pen and paper, because a lot is going to be shared today. And please share as well if you get the opportunity, if you're watching live. And if you want to participate, don't hesitate. Just, let us know what you want us, to address, or if you want to just make a statement, please, do. This show is for you. This show is really, we're bringing it to your house, to where you are, so that you can, like I said, build on that to get to the next level of your greatness. So let's start and bring Betty now. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, it's behavior. It's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others. And you are not alone.
So, welcome. Dr. Betty speaks to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It is a pleasure, a real pleasure. I was saying before we started this show, it's been a while since we connected. It's been a while since, we had, a proper conversation. And I'm very, very happy to have you grace, the platform of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. So very excited. But before I get too far into the excitement, just want you to introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who is Dr. Betty Speaks and, what is important to know about you.
Well, I love the introduction that you have done so far, Queen. First of all, I would like to give honor to you for gracing me with your presence once again. So, thank you for allowing me to be here on your phenomenal platform. Again, my name is Dr. Betty Speaks, and I'm just a little old girl from a little old place in the United States, honestly. I love the fact that you have said that yes, I am retired from the United States Army. I now do civility leadership work. I love loving on others. I have a company, a Life Change Now. I've been the CEO and founder of a Life Change Now for more than 14 years, which is, I
Wow.
started this based on retiring from the military, and not because I wanted a life change now, but because so many of my comrades needed to be exposed to a life change now. Now, meaning no other way. We had
Mm-hmm.
to set aside those things that we did for our country. Now, is it about serving our community and still doing the right thing from a civil standpoint? The Golden Eight Rule is all about being kind to others. So I love instilling kindness in other through civility. And I can go on and on, but once you Google me, just Google Betty Speaks and you'll find out more than you need to know about her.
Yeah. So this lady is a legend. So she's right. We're not going to be able to talk about her here. It's just, in 1 hour, it's going to be too short. So Google her, connect with her, and we'll give you all the details to connect after the show. And so today we're talking about, the four components of life and how they impact our life. And obviously, like you mentioned, you've gone from, being in the army and now doing civility work. So how was this transition, and what really led you to now embrace civility? Because what was the breakthrough? Because these are two different things where in the army, where you go and it's more an offensive type of things, and then the civility is more about a broader leadership and really looking at bringing people together. So how did you make this transition?
Well, honestly, it's still like you said, it's they're in my mind one of the same. Yes, I joined the military not knowing that there was a mission
Mm-hmm.
that came with being a part of the military, was fighting for my country, fighting for peace, and basically still human rights in other areas. It seems as though as I grew into the military, the focus of being in the military became so important on just taking my country values to any country
Mm-hmm.
that I encounter. I had to be mindful and respectful and show civility in that country, especially being a female in Saudi Arabia or going to
Mm-hmm.
Korea and the country of Korea, and being showing my American civility there in Korea. I love the fact that I could tell people that just this little thing here that came from
Mm-hmm.
London, the Lady of
Wow.
Liberty came from London for peace, to establish friendship even between our countries. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
I transition into that, still bringing about civility, even between building community with children. So I say they're one of the same, and it's like if you're gonna fight for your country, why not still fight for your community and teach
Mm-hmm.
both the terms of what civility means by being and the golden rule behind civility of being kind for another. And I wanted to also add, because you mentioned that we're going to be talking about um,
Mm-hmm.
the the four components of our life, and
Mm-hmm.
as I thought about a life change now, as you mentioned earlier, that was so profound to me in helping some of my civilian, or now civilian, but veteran females that
Mm-hmm.
retired, and we had seen things that we were not expected to see on friendly and unfriendly grounds in the
Mm-hmm.
military. And you and I talked about what took place in Israel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So be exposed to things like that, and to transition into a new life, the four-letter word, meaning in my mind, and as I educate others, live intentionally for
Mm-hmm.
eternity. That's a four-letter word. And I
Mm-hmm.
love to influence others on the components of life. And those
Mm-hmm.
components, as you have mentioned, are spiritual growth, financial literacy, personal development, and professional development. One has to know those things. Those are some of the key things that we need to know in life,
Mm-hmm.
and to
Mm-hmm.
experience that life change now, because now NOW, as you I think you put that there, capital NOW, there's no
Mm-hmm.
other way. No
Mm-hmm.
other way but to be exposed to a life change now, and to be surrounded, or just engulf those four components: spiritual
Mm-hmm.
growth, financial literacy, professional development, and personal development. I can see
Mm-hmm.
you have another question, so I'll turn it back over.
Yeah. So I think, when you talked about those four components, it's so difficult to have them, to have the balance in those four area. So how do you, I mean, as a coach, what are the key things that you do to help, and obviously you focus on, the woman veteran, but I think it's kind of, the full spectrum of society. How do people can get it, the full package, because it's hard.
Yes, honestly, because of, like I said, the word life has four letters.
Mm-hmm.
Those four components, when you look at the four components, when we look at each other, it's hard to even operate without one arm,
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we would need both of them to do something. Can you imagine not having two arms and two legs? Those are four components that we need to survive. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so amazing that some people can survive without one, both, or all four. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
driving a vehicle, you still need four tires, in order to
Mm-hmm.
operate that vehicle. So why not look at life the same way? You cannot survive in life without some type of finances.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get those finances from somewhere. Either you inherit them, or you have to have a job. Some type of monies have to come in at some point in your life, and then you have to learn how to manage that money. And then,
Mm-hmm.
we all have some type of spiritual beliefs. i
Mm-hmm.
don't i don't try to influence anyone on the beliefs that I have, but I do encourage each and every person to identify spiritually with their beliefs and have some type of faith in those beliefs. And then when you look at your personal development, you don't want to stay the same way all the time. Even today, what we do today, we were not doing some of the things today 20 years ago, or 10 years ago. So every single day, there is some type of personal development that each of us encounter. I mean, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Learning is always, it's like fundamental, it's instrumental, and then there's that professional development. I look at how your show has evolved from the very first time I've seen your show. You have evolved so much. So that's professional growth. We have to have
Mm-hmm.
it in order to meet the spectrum of the audience that you want to reach. You have to do some type of professional growth in order to
Mm-hmm.
get to that next level. So I tell everyone, even I love teaching at elementary school and at universities. There has to be something in you that has that burning desire to change, to take yourself, to take you to the next level. Honestly, that's how we identify with our purpose in life. So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
go in to speak on a person to a person and influence them on why they need to be exposed to a life change now, because there's no other way, and it is definitely time for them to be to embrace that new
Mm-hmm.
opportunity window. Most of our homes have more than one window, so we have the opportunity, that new opportunity window. If you don't want to open one window to get a nice breeze through, you can open
Mm-hmm.
another window because you have more than one. So that's how we are in life. We have more, there's so many opportunities out there for us to be engaged in. So why not change? Why not take that time and expose yourself or embrace yourself with those new opportunities? You have more than one window.
Fantastic. And I like the analogy because, these are simple analogy and you're right. We have lots of window and we choose which one we want to open, and which one we want to really close. And that's an important thing to do in life as well. There are things that we've done and we don't have to do it, all the way. We can, because they're not serving us, we have to close the window and open another window to give us, a new departure, and really help us to grow. And that's really important. So wow, I'm really already inspired. I hope the audience is also. We're gonna have a small break, and we will be back with Dr. Betty. Dr. Betty Speaks is my guest today. And please, if you're watching live, or even if you're watching the replay, let us know, what you think, and ask any question. And if you're watching the replay, I make sure that Dr. Betty get that and address that. But for the time being, we're just gonna have a good break and get back to you as soon as possible.
It's Daddy Speaks, the international transformational storytelling, y'all. Just what you need. Time to listen up for motivation on a journey with Daddy Speaks.
Fais partie de moi, c'est sans café. Tout est off, tout droit, tous les soirs. Parce qu'il c'est madame, en câlin. Même si vous savez ça, ça fait la peine.
Elle est souffert, moi, elle a souffert.
So we are back. We are back with Dr. Betty Speaks. And as you know, if you're just joining us, we are in the US today, and we're talking about the four components of life. and how they impact our life journey. And one question I have, Dr. Betty, is, this those four components looks really obvious to all of us. So, as you journey into, your life, because you've been wearing different art, what do you think is the challenge, for people not to actually adhere to that? Because these are really simple key thing that are really obvious, but what is the challenge? Why are not people really embracing that and acting according, to bring all those components into their life?
Great question. It's one word: choices.
Mhm,
Choices, we all have choices to make in life, and if you choose the wrong choice, that's no one's fault but yours. And I tell you, I've heard every excuse that one can make, but the choice ultimately is your choice. And
mhm,
sometimes I often tell people, you're the chosen one when you go through some of life havocs. I can tell you that on my life journey, being a child born out of wedlock, joined the military because I didn't want to be a hang around after graduating from high school. You might ask yourself, what's a hang around? A hang
mhm,
around is that person that graduated from high school and then they came back the next year when school began again, not for them, but for the new students. And that
mhm,
around comes about and picks on, bullies those students that are trying to get what they got. So they don't have a life. They have nothing better to do but to come back to the high school that they've graduated from and pick on the students that are trying to get what they have already achieved. But you
mhm,
have a choice. That choice is yours to either give in to that bully or to prove to that bully that you can graduate as well and that you
mhm,
choose to do something different with your life. For me, I joined the military. I was an
mhm,
early graduate from high school, and I joined the military at an early age and decided that I will not be a hang around. As a matter of fact, I haven't really looked back at my high school classmates. Every now and then I would join a cruise or something. But when you make the choice to be better than those that choose to do negative things in life, you will start to take heed of a life change and start
mhm,
implementing the components of your life. Don't let someone else choose the life that you should live. Make your own decisions. If you're from a single family, if you are the only child. It can be whatever the if is in your life. You make your own decisions, your own choices, challenge the things that you have to challenge and conquer them. And then be able to inspire others. I love to use the word hope, you know.
mhm,
Be that person who influence hope into other people. When I say hope, that is to help other people excel. When I say
mhm,
hope, that's to help other people enjoy life. When I say hope, that is to help other people every day. That choice is yours. You can be that chosen one to make a difference in someone else's life.
Wow, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. And it comes down to, getting take responsibility of your own life, and, especially when people are stuck and, they start to look outside, they start to accuse people, they start to accuse the system, they start to accuse everyone except looking inside and understanding what you've just said, that, they have choices and they have to choose, what their life, what they want their life to be, and not, be the victim and, in quote, a victim of a system of someone else imposing their life on them. And sometimes, we are so conditioned to find an external, reason to what is happening to us, that we don't even make an effort to actually reflect, go in, reflect, and see what did I do and what is the reason I'm here. What did,
Yeah,
do, and what did I do to be in that position, and what can I do
yes,
about it, instead of looking for, and an external end to solve this problem was so powerful. And I like, all the acronym for hope, and really helping people, with hope. It's just amazing. And I encourage the audience to really take notes, write it down. It is very important to remember that. And building on that, what do you think, because right now, and people have a lot of excuses right now. I mean, we've talked about, the Israel, what's happening there, the economy, there's war in Europe, there's, we are, the inflation, all kind of cost of living is parity. So how do you, make sure that people don't, focus on that as what's happening to them, and really go back and really do an introspection to see the power that they have and what they can do to really continue to excel and continue to to have a life that's really worth living.
I'm so glad you asked that question. What comes to mind is John Maxwell's quote on people don't care about how much you know. They don't care about how much I know right now until they see how much I care. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a quote from John Maxwell. They don't even care about how much I know, what I've experienced in life. They care, they want to see how much I care. And I do care so much about what has happened in Israel, to the point where, again, I have a choice what I could do about that now. No, I can't pack my bags up and just fly over and help the rescue parties and with finding those that are unfound, if you will. But I can pray. I can pray and I can educate still from afar. I can educate those in my surroundings on how to process their feelings right now, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and how to, that's when those four components again. That's why it's important to have that spiritual growth. There's that basic information that was left here for us to follow and to gurgitate, just pour out to others. So I can share that information because that's another reason why I study the word so much,
Mm-hmm.
and I can look back on leaders like Winston Churchill, who's from your
Mm-hmm.
area as well, and he was a phenomenal leader. And I can hear him saying to his troops, "When you're going through something, keep going." So right now we are growing through pains of what has just taken place, and I think I heard someone say in the media that it's even worse than what we were exposed to here, which was 9/11. It was
Mm-hmm.
worse than that. It's not even kind for someone to, this had to take lots of planning, first of all. So
Mm-hmm.
it was an unkind act that took place. But what we can't do is dwell on it. We can pray over a lot of things. And when I say pray, I don't mean PREY. It is
Mm-hmm.
definitely PRAY. And we
Mm-hmm.
go into our secret places and just pray on those that are affected by it. Pray for those that are triggered by it, and educate those that are not understanding what has taken place or the why. We don't necessarily know the why. We can't, the why is probably there and not here, but
Mm-hmm.
we definitely have to embrace those that are triggered by this, and embrace our young
Mm-hmm.
youth, that are stunned by this as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's where the spirit, like you said, the spiritual, the spiritual
Right.
aspect of our
Mm-hmm.
life is important,
Mm-hmm.
because, otherwise we're just reacting, we just controlled by our emotions. And
Yes.
that's an important, it's an important thing to have right now, this spiritual strength. And really tech, I know it's a bit aggressive, it's a bit, people are triggered, but sometimes you need to just, go in, try to, process it, and then, make a decision, and so that things are not escalating. And it's difficult. And especially when you are in the midst of it. I can talk like that because I'm, outside, but it is important to have this spiritual strength and really believing in something bigger that can guide you in such a moment, in such a, tragic moment. Because like we can see, innocent are going to be the victim, of, a few who have taken, the wrong decision, and then, it will, obviously impact, all the innocent that have not asked for this. So we're going to have another break, and we will be back and to continue this conversation. As you can see, it is, Dr. Betty is dropping a lot of inspiration, a lot of things that, that will help us as, human being to grow and also to build on, to go to the next level of our greatness. But it's not the end. There's more coming. And it's just, I think it was just the appetizer. We are going to be back. So sit tight and see you in a few minutes.
My name is Kasia Trepanier. I'm from Hammond, Louisiana, which is about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans.
Our end thing is love, community, and never forget about the people that paved the way.
Art is the only medium to help us understand that there is a lot more to life than fight.
Whatever you do in your personal life trickles into your business life. And a lot of times people fail in business because they have not succeeded in life.
I want to be able to be contributing, one of those guys that really are doing significant work to better the lives of people.
Every change is linked to a consciousness raising, and change is conscious. And if you want to change something in your life, start with your breathing. Start to work on your breathing.
Leave something for people to learn from. Make a video, write a book, teach, go around, teach the younger generation or the next generation to help them become or follow the path that you've been.
So we are back. We are back with Dr. Betty, and we are learning so much. And we're talking about, the general thing that we need to know, as citizen, as human being, as someone who lives in people who lives in communities, because there are rules, there are things that we need to know to be able to to live in harmony and also be happy, have a purpose fulfilled. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the four component of life and how they impact our life. And one thing that, I want to ask you, Dr. Betty, is, obviously we've done the diagnostic, we've talked about, why people are not really embracing those four components of life, and, the different reasons that they find and why they get stuck. So what's next? Because it's getting more complicated, because there's obviously now the digital aspect of things, because we live in a digital world. There's a lot of things happening. I talk to you, you are in the US, I'm in Australia, I talk to you, all the different. So how do you manage that, and incorporate those four components, with, AI is there, robotics, all kind of things. And what does it mean for civility as well? Because, it's now part of your life.
You know what? I was forced to just experience a life change now, and acknowledge that there are four components in life that were not necessarily explained to me when I stepped out on life at the age of 15 years old. You know,
Mhm.
I remember being in basic training and not knowing. All I knew is that I wanted to change my life. I wanted to start my life. My parents were not able to send me to college or anything. So I was forced to embrace those components. Yes, I was baptized at the age of 12, and had a spiritual growth coming through me at that age that I
Mhm.
brought into the military with me. But upon joining the military, I had to begin. That's where I realized that, okay, now I am doing some professional growth. This is
Mhm.
These are things I'm learning professionally. And as you said, even the military, when I joined at that age, is nothing like it is today. So we have to in- input ourselves. We have to embrace these changes that we are facing in today's world, because it is evolving. So even today, as I look back on being that 15-year-old in basic training and begging my father, after 3 weeks of it, or maybe two and a half, this is not where I want to be. And him saying,
Mhm.
you only have a few more weeks to go before graduation. Why do you want to quit now? So even
Mhm.
then, I had to just finish that embracement, embrace that change of being in basic training, being, running, doing things that I had never done before, physical training, mental training, just embracing all the changes with professional development. And we do it, the kids do it in college today.
Mhm.
They're reading books that they've never had to read before. They're doing mathematical problems that were not even taught in grade school. So you have to embrace that change and go through it, grow through those going pains. You just got to go through it.
Mhm.
So even that, as that was basic training. Then after basic training, there is an advanced training. After that, there's a more advanced training. Each step you have to embrace, and even while you are embracing them, you're going to see others quit, but you
Mhm.
can't be that quitter. You have to look at your roots honestly and see what type of roots. I love Psalms 91:12, where it talks about being that palm tree that's planted by the Lebanon. So I look at
Mhm.
myself as that palm tree honestly. It will go through a storm, and it will spin, it will bend over, it will bounce back. After each little changes that palm tree goes through, it will never break. So we as human beings have to be the same way. As we go through
Mhm.
different challenges in life, we could bend backwards, forward, we could spin around, but we have to remember not to break. That's when you combine both your spiritual growth with your personal development or professional development. They all work together, for the goodness of you. So, yes,
Mhm.
you can't just quit. You have to tell yourself, still I rise, like Maya
Mhm.
Angelou would say, still I rise. So, as in women, we have gone through so much in life, and we rise above each and every one of our challenges. We have to sometimes tether together. So, that's what helps me. I see someone and I try to emulate that person, even
Mhm.
though there's a higher being that I'm definitely trying to be similar to, trying to walk
Mhm.
in his image. But Maya Angelou, since I mentioned her name, I was born
Mhm.
on her birthday. And so I honestly just love the challenges that even she went through. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, I have to meet her. I have to meet her. She was like on my book of possibilities of people that I had to meet. And when I finally got to meet her in person, I wanted to take a picture with
Wow.
her. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
she came to Boston, on several occasions. She was at Boston University, she was at Worcester University, and everywhere I saw her in Massachusetts, I made it my business to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I was going to be the only one, but there were so many others there as well.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so you put yourself in that position to say, I want to grow. I want to do better. I have to, because like I said before, I'm his chosen one. And the reason I say I'm his chosen one is because being that child that was born out of wedlock, and I could tell you, successfully retiring from the military and thinking back on what am I going to do if I quit now? I
Mm-hmm.
can't quit the military. I have to finish this. There's a retirement at the end. And even after retiring from the military, I thought I had gotten my t shirt, I had gotten everything. Now I could just enjoy life and sit back. And then one day on August 8th, 2018, at 8 o'clock in the morning, my doctor called me. And this is like, I'm thinking she wants to take me out to a movie or something because she's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite doctor, but she's calling me, and I'm just like in awe. Why is my doctor calling me? At 8 o'clock on August 8th, 2018, year of the great eights. I don't even know if I will ever see that date again.
Mm-hmm.
When she told me at 8 o'clock in the morning on August 8th, 2018, that I had cancer,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if you know Charlie Brown and his operator. You could
Mm-hmm.
hear his operator go want, 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 want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all I heard. So even that, I say this because I couldn't believe she said that, and I still could hear the Charlie Brown operator. And I know that I disappeared from her conversation for maybe a century before she got
Mm-hmm.
my attention back to what she was saying. She said, everything is taken care of. I have your doctor. He's lined up for surgery. You're going to go through, these are the things that you're going to go through, your follow ups. And she had did everything for me. But I'm still
Mm-hmm.
thinking, Betty Speaks, you have cancer? You've been an advocate for America Cancer Society. You've walked
Mm-hmm.
the relays for cancer. You've been on battlefields for your country. You have cancer? I could not fathom that. I couldn't believe it. I didn't
Wow.
cry, but I wailed. I
Mm-hmm.
wailed for 2 weeks until I couldn't shed another tear. If you can imagine a baby that's trying to cry, but no tears are coming out,
Mm-hmm.
that was me after 2 weeks. And then I heard my inner spirit, that inner man, that man, that spirit, my spiritual being speaking to me saying, are you done weeping? You're
Mm-hmm.
going to live and not die. This is not for you. This is all about the new tribe that I'm sending to you. So stop your weeping. Remember, you're one of my chosen ones. I give you
Mm-hmm.
battles that you can conquer. So
Wow.
I share this with you because this is all about a life change now.
Mm-hmm.
Capital ENOW, because there's no other way. This is your new opportunity window to reach out to others who don't know that they will live and not die. This is another battle that they can conquer. You are definitely my chosen one. He put me in the book of Deuteronomy, and then he took me to overcoming battles by being strong and courageous because he knew that I had conquered those things
Mm-hmm.
in life. So this is what living a life change now is all about. When you see someone and you don't know what they have been exposed to in life or they have experienced in life, this is Betty Speaks. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
one thing after the other. And I share with you that I was definitely born on Maya Angelou's birthday. And I can
Mm.
remember I'm asking, yes, born on her birthday. And I can remember saying, what do you want for your birthday this year? This particular year, and it was in 2019 that I asked myself that. So I could or 2000, it was 2020. I could say that after going through a previous divorce and
Mm-hmm.
being that child and retiring from the military and being on both friendly and unfriendly grounds, going through cancer, didn't have the coronavirus, but so many had died from that virus. And I heard the Holy Spirit said it's a resurrection. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2020, that's when the lyrics just came pouring down. So that's how the song It's a Resurrection was birthed. And so it was number one when it came out on the very first day. So that song, It's a Resurrection, saying there's like no more divorces, no more cancer, no more this, no more that. It's time for a resurrection. So that's what I say to individuals, a life change now. Whatever your now is, it's time for you to experience that life change now. You have no
Mm-hmm.
other reasons. You're going to face challenges. You have the opportunity to change those challenges. You have the opportunity to even challenge those challenges. But your now is not tomorrow. When you are ready for a life change, you have to be ready to expose and experience it now. I had no clue that my doctor would have called me that day and given me
Mm-hmm.
that kind of news. Because honestly, I thought my fight and battle days were over with until I
Wow.
had to battle with that and conquered it 5 years ago, my sister.
Wow, powerful, powerful testimony. It's just so empowering. And I just want to share as well, which is, basically summarize what you're all about and the message that you just shared. Your one of your motto, which is, to embrace a life of change now, because there is no other way to thrive and conquer life chances, challenges, and changes. Your now is your new opportunity waiting. Your now is your new opportunity window. That's powerful. That's really, really powerful. And it is really something that, I want people to understand that, this why, and I'm going to put it as, so that, this why is very important. It's very important. It is, you have to embrace the life changes now, and really understand that it is an opportunity more than, a curse, or, or something that's really, gonna put you, behind. It is something that will bring you to the next level of your greatness, because we are talking about greatness here. And sometimes, greatness come disguised, through challenges. And it is important that we know that. It is important that we get, ahead, and we really look at, the end, the journey at the end, instead of getting stuck at the beginning, where, the suffering is there. The what seems to be blockages are there. There's always a way to go on the other side. And, your testimony is really what is, proving it. And that's really important. So we're going to have our last break, and I will, get your message, for the audience, the message that you want us to leave this, with this, live with, from this platform. And really, get that, and get the audience to take it, with them. So let's have the break, and we'll be back with, for this message.
when I left Disney, I met lots of people who are entrepreneurs and just said, "Look, I'm starting. What advice do you have for us?" And I got some great advice. And there was a few things that were key. First of all, and as you saw in the video there, keep it simple. Be simple about what problems you solve.
When people think about retirement, Murray, they think about somebody in their 60s and 70s and 80s. When you say retirement, and so when I talk to young people, they almost like disconnect from, well, I'm not ready to retire. And I'm thinking, well, what age? Let's change that word retirement. What age do you want to stop working actively for your income and have your income work for you?
What are you hoping for? That means that there's a future. That means that there's something that you yet still need to be realized and materialized in your life. And if you have lost hope and you're not hoping for something, that means you're lost. So we need to get you back to the place of being able to hope again.
You know, the great Dr. Willie Jolly once said, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. You know, we've had a lot of setbacks over these last many months. And it may have gotten you to the point where you don't think a comeback is ever possible. But I'm here to tell you, it's never too late.
You know, trust the process. So many times we get stuck and paralyzed from taking the first step and taking action to get out of that transactional to the transformational of our own lives because we're afraid. But trust the process. Take that one little microscopic step. And I tell you that once you do that, that will increase into another step and another step and another step. So that's what I'd like to leave with you today.
You are an original. You don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing. I've had so many people try to mimic or duplicate what I'm doing, and I don't have a problem with that. And I'll tell you why. Because if God didn't give them the exact same vision, it may work, but it won't work like the vision he gave me. So it's really not competition. It's something else. So don't let fear or competition stop you from going forward.
My message for today is delay is not denial. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish in life. Do not stop until you get what it is you know God has for you.
Look on it, plan it, see it, anticipate it. Plan what it is that you want to do. Plan where you want to go. See it in your mind, visualize it, and then anticipate it. Know that it's going to happen.
Wow.
So powerful messages. This platform has been, a doctorate or whatever for me. I've grown so much in 4.5 years, and I've had champion people who have brought so much wisdom and so much knowledge on the platform. And today there is another champion, another, amazing leader, an amazing woman who he have had the opportunity to grace, the platform of Greatness Engineering Hour. And it is Dr. Betty. Dr. Betty speaks. And Dr. Betty, what is your last word for us? Why do you want us to bring, out of this conversation, out of this platform today?
Yes, I honestly would love everyone to have the opportunity to continue to experience a life change now over and over and over again. And in doing so, inspire others with hope. Like I said before, hope, help other people excel. Hope, help other people enjoy life. Hope, help other people every single day. Why? Because they too deserve the opportunity to soar That's right. Seize opportunities and rise. Soar. Seize opportunities and resurrect. Soar. Seize opportunities and rejuvenate their life as well. Life, live intentionally for eternity now, because there's no other way. And my sister said it best, there are new opportunities waiting and new opportunity windows just for you. That's what I would like to leave with you today.
Powerful, powerful. So, says this opportunity, it's now. Don't wait, It is now that you have to act. Is it now that you have to seize those opportunity? It can come in different shapes. It often comes as a trial for you, but don't be deceived. Behind this trial, there is the best opportunity that you can have in your life. So don't miss that, and don't stay where you are. There is a way. As long as you wake up today, there is a way to grow. There is a way to go to the next level of your greatness. And that's how we're going to finish today. So before we leave, Dr. Betty, anything that you have planned or anything that we should know about, and how do people connect with you?
Yes, you can connect with me, bettyspeaks.com. You can leave comments there. That's the easiest way, bettyspeaks.com. That's my website, and you can leave comments there. I get them all the time. I have several other platforms that I am doing things on. November 11th is the Dr. Betty Speaks Veterans Champion Day. This is my third year anniversary. So if you know of any veterans that are in the mill that have done amazing things, that are in your community, that it doesn't matter where they are, send those names to me. It doesn't matter what branch of service that they served in. I would like to acknowledge them. This is our third year of awareness. It is a international awareness day, and it's veterans, it's Dr. Betty Speaks Champion Day. It is in our archive. So that's the major event that I'm working on now, among other things that I have going on here in my community in the United States. But that one there is near and dear to my heart, all because so often veterans are overlooked for the things that they are still doing even today in their community. So I have recognized amazing individuals from Colin Powell all the way down to, I just can't name them all, You will see their names flashing by, but that's one huge project that I'm currently working on right now.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's been definitely an hour of greatness, and we can go on and never stop with Dr. Betty. We learned so much from her experience, like expertise, and also her knowledge is just all over there. So get the opportunity to connect with her, get the opportunity to support her work, and really anything. If you really want to personally connect with her, you can go through me, or just use the different platform that she's just mentioned, and I can assure you, you're not going to be deceived. So get those contact, see, go on the website, see what she's doing, and get involved if you see something where you can help. And for me, it's going to be a bye bye. I will be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show next week. I'm going to have at least two guests back to back. But that's what it's all about, and I'm really so fortunate and so blessed to be able to host and to have a phenomenal people grace this platform and giving this show a life in itself, and something that can help you to go to the next level of your greatness. So thank you, Dr. Betty, again for being with us, for everything that you do, and and really for the testimony, to bringing this testimony to us, to help us to understand what it's all about, to live the four, aspect of component of life that you describe, because you've lived them. And now, when we see, so we can see it, we can do it. And I think that's the message that I want, the audience to take here. She's live it, so you can live it as well. Don't be scared, and just go for it, and seize the opportunity now. Like it was mentioned, it's now that you have to seize this opportunity. It's the window of opportunity for you to get to the next level, to grow further, and like I said, to become a greatness engineer. So thank you very much, and I see you next week. And you enjoy, the rest of the day, Doctor, the rest of your evening, because for me it's daytime Monday morning, but you enjoy the rest of the evening. Yeah. So you take good care of yourself, and we obviously going to connect after that. So thank you very much.